Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Wednesday. It's June 17th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And a couple of things real quick. It's almost 9 o'clock before I'm getting this thing done, so I'm a little late getting it up here. And I know I rushed through yesterday's, but I'm probably going to move through today's as well because it's the second time I've done this video. It's just been one of those days where I've had technical glitches all day long. We had an issue with the website where the login, they actually did an upgrade. Let me back up. My hosting service did an upgrade to the server, some kind of security upgrade, and it interfered with some of the security I already had on the site, and so it was keeping people from logging in. And I don't know what it had to do with it, but I tested a couple of the logins, and I could log in fine, but yet they couldn't log in. So I haven't totally got it corrected. I've found a workaround while we try to figure out what the interference is, and hopefully I can get it back like I want it. You probably won't notice anything. You'll probably just notice it's working on your side, but it's really not fixed as how I would like it to be fixed. It's just kind of a workaround, temporary workaround, just so I could get people back into the site. Because I was getting bombarded with emails. People couldn't get in. I know it's frustrating. I apologize. I'm aware of it though, and we're working on it, and we'll continue to get the bugs worked out and figure out things. So the other thing is, somebody brought it to my attention, there was some little blips or clicks in the audio, and so I've been trying to figure that out. And I think what I finally figured out is, even though when I move my head, these headphones do not move, but the audio on these headphones is so sensitive that it causes little blips and things. I believe that's what's causing it. I'm still not 100% sure if that audio is, and so I'm working on trying to reduce the sensitivity, and let's hope I got a fix for that. But that's been a problem too, so I'm trying to fix that little glitch. And so it just seems like I've been bombarded with technical issues lately, little glitches, and I'm trying to work them all out. So just bear with me. I apologize, but hopefully they're not here when this video is done. If they are, I don't know what we can do about it. But I'm not going to talk about it any longer. You know the issues. You know I'm working on them, and we'll see what we can do. This was a range day. As you see, we really spent all day in a range. There was, you had the first leg down right there, and then we have a measured leg. And you can see we bounced right in there, but we continued lower here. And I guess I got rid of my, let's measure this one. Must have lost my little, if you measure that leg, oh, there it is over there. We've continued to go lower, but you measured the first leg down from there, you can see we got about a measured move, but we continue to go lower there. And as I'm moving my head, I can feel these things sliding on my head just slightly. I mean, it's just ever so slightly. But for some reason, these headphones are really picking this up. So I hope you, with the sensitivity adjustment, that you won't hear it, but I can't guarantee it. So I may just have to get some new headphones. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to back out, talk about the trades, and hope that this clicking's not there. We had one leg up, and then there's your second leg. Oops. Second leg up, and you can see we had almost a measured move. Basically, we actually had a measured move right there, and we pushed a little bit higher. So we got us all those targets got us pretty good targets today. We actually got a little more than our targets. But it's just a range day for the most part. The real sell-off didn't happen until after 2 o'clock. So you can see, and there's actually a lot going on here. We've got the two-tiered channel. We've got a brown two-tiered channel within that, and even with that, we had another short-term channel. So there's a lot going on here. This looks really messy, but if you understand what's going on, it doesn't look nearly as messy as it would if you're not used to this. But it really helps you to know what's going on, though. And so let's start. 7 o'clock came right in this little bounce right up through here, and we started working down. And notice that we had a first entry and then a second entry right there. So you got a failed second entry long, and it broke higher and turned and went out the other side. I like going short right there. Right off that main trend line. we're working down, and then we try to go higher again, and it's just like a little repeat. It breaks higher and turns and goes out the other side. We're just continuing to work until we finally get a break here. I would have liked to have gone short right there, but it's not a very good signal bar. It's real close to those lows, and it drops on down, and now we get a little reversal. So you had your break out of this new low, and we haven't come back to test that midline when we push through it. You may or may not have had that midline. It was pretty easy to find. You just drew your line up here, drug it down, and you can kind of see where it's fitting in there. So just being that far away from the EMA, when this breaks lower and turns up, you got people trapped. You could either go long one tick above that little bar or wait for this one to close and go one tick, place your buy stop one tick above that one. Either way, as long as you got room to get out. Then you get the little reversal pattern. It breaks lower, closes above the EMA, failed second entry short, nice bullish bar. Just go long one tick above that one. Runs right back up to the trend line and turns down. You get a little lower high here. You could argue for this to be red because it pushes through the EMA and the midline, pulls back, tests it. It's right off this trend line too, this micro trend line. It just keeps going. So I marked it green, but it's one of those that it's real close because we're looking for prices to come down here anyway. We bounce off the lows. You just don't really get a chance to ride this back. But notice how we just start going sideways. Right here, you're looking to play this trend line. And if you had a really good signal bar right there, you might have gone short. I don't like mine. It's just really a neutral bar. And you don't really get a chance to go long. You probably don't want to go long there, but when it gives you that double test and a big bearish bar, just go short right there. You may not have been able to get in that trade because it gaps over and just keeps going. And you pull back right here and test it on the other side as it pushes through, and you get a lower high right off the EMA, right off the lower support. And you're looking for prices to come back down here. So there they go. We just kind of bounce down this. You got to be careful going short down here, but it looks like it's really bearish now. But notice how we made that swing up, and then you try to go higher once, twice. So you get a little, I don't have the line there, but there's some resistance there, and you get a little double test. You can see that. And a big bearish bar. Just go short right there. Just looking for it to come back down to the line again. It actually overshoots it and then reverses. You get a little spike and channel up. And you don't really get a good chance to get in this one. Your failed second entry short's here, but I don't like that setup. You get a higher low here, but your signal bar is still too bearish. That signal bar is not any good right there. And then you finally get a little higher low. It breaks lower and gives you a nice little, it turns and goes up out the other side. So I like that one. And you're just looking for prices to come back up here now. And you're just playing it off that trend line. And it runs up here to the main trend line, turns down. You get a little lower high right there, but that is a little dangerous because you haven't, even though you got an overshoot of this channel, you haven't had a break yet. So there's a good chance it could try to go higher again. And it does. And there's actually a second entry long right there. I marked that one green, but that's another one that is very, very close to being blue. And so you could probably argue that either way. I'm still going to leave it green. I like waiting on the higher low, which is here. And then really, because you got that neutral bar, I don't really like going long on that one. And you see what happens, just kind of goes sideways. It still would have worked, but you're just kind of working sideways. And you actually get a second entry short. And so I like that because if this is a range, your last closes were down here. So you got plenty of room there. It doesn't come back down there, but you still scalp out of that one. And then finally you push on down, make a lower low, and then a lower high and a nice bearish bar. So that was the better place to go short, either that one or this one. And where does it bounce? Right off the midline, comes back. So now we're looking for another possible short. We did get an overshoot, so we could reverse without making a new low. But we just really end up getting a break, and then the market takes off. I did mark a couple of green ones here. You got to be careful going long right here because this is the first break of this trend line, but you did have the overshoot, and that a lot of times that leads to just a reversal. And you did have a big leg here, so we could make a measured leg before we turned down, and that's really what happened. So the fact that you made that low, you tested it once, you tested it twice, you probably got a short trap here, so you may take that trade. And it actually ticks back there and makes another little trap on a higher low. So that's really the better trade to go long right there. So you may try either one of those. This one you could almost argue to be blue, but I'm just a little leery about going long right there. Those trades can fail. So I just marked it green. And then notice you get a second entry long right here, but no signal bar. You get a second entry long right here, and you do get a good signal bar, but it's kind of in an odd place. You didn't quite get back to the EMA. You're not back to the trend line. You can call it off the midline, but it really pushed through it. But it closes above it, so you could look at that as a second entry long off the midline, and you got enough room to get out. So you may take that one. I still made it green because it's not a great setup. It's not a perfect setup. But we push up here and we get another overshoot. That's two in a row. And so you got to be careful. And here's another one. Notice we had a second entry long right there, and it closes up here. And see how that one failed? So that's why that one's a little leery of that one. This is still a little better setup than this one, because now you've overshot this thing a couple of times. And this one doesn't even get back to the EMA, so it's showing a little more strength. This one actually pushed through a little bit. And so you could actually consider trading that trap because it looks like a repeat pattern almost. And so there's probably going to be some trap traders. So you could argue to trade that short, but I'd skip it because if you try to pick tops, you know what happens to you. I'll give it a green one, but I'd wait for a little better setup. And you actually get your break, and you could consider that notice you try to go higher once and you pull back, and you get another attempt to go long right there, and you probably trap some shorts right here. So when it breaks higher, I like riding that back up to the EMA. It actually goes a little higher. I don't think you want to go short there yet. And then we actually made that low. We tested once, we tested twice. We got a fairly bullish bar. Come back. Now you got a higher low. Take that one. And you come back and you actually test that one more time. And the bias is still slightly up here. Then the bottom runs back up to the high and the bottom falls out. Usually you'll get a failed breakout up here, which gives you a great chance to get short on this one, and you don't get it here. And that really takes you into 2 o'clock. So I know I ran through those quick, but we're back out again. It's just a range day. And really what you had to do, you had to play the channel down, the channel up, and then the sideways. It's as simple as that, really. But it's just a little difficult to trade a range like this when you're not bouncing it consistent. Notice how at the highs we were bouncing in all these different places. That makes it harder. So really what you have to do is find these micro trends and micro ranges and trade them. And just remember the prevailing bias. And all the way through here, it's down. Until right about here, it's down. And then it's up from there. And then it's sideways into the close. And then actually from 2 o'clock or into 2 o'clock, and from 2 o'clock, it's all down again. But we don't want to take any new trades after 2 o'clock. It's just too dangerous trading after 2 o'clock. So anyway, I know I rushed through that. Hopefully I can get all these issues worked out. And I apologize for the login on the website. I apologize if you're hearing the blips again after I do this video. I'm hoping I'm going to have them kind of weeded out there and at least sounding better. And I'll continue to work on all this. I may just need to get a new set of headphones. Maybe I've wore these out or something. I don't know. But I don't even know how long it's been doing. I just know somebody recently mentioned it to me. So, but I'm going to wrap it up so this doesn't get too long and so I can get it uploaded. It's 9 o'clock. And hopefully we'll have better luck tomorrow and into next week. But I'm going to wrap it up for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.